Until 2007, the German manufacturers almost had the premium executive saloon market to themselves, but then Jaguar launched the beautiful XF. It might not always have been the most advanced or the fastest car in its class, but it had character in spades. And yet this XF hasn't exactly been hit with the ugly stick. In fact, with slimmer headlights, along with gorgeous taillights inspired by the F-Type, and wheels now pushed further to each corner, it manages to look sporty and stately all at the same time. Increasing the wheelbase by 51mm means there's more space in here, but you still get that lovely cocoon feeling thanks to the low slung driving position, this chunky centre console and sports steering wheel, which also adjusts electrically. We're testing the Prestige trim, and while this textured dash may feel a bit dubious to the touch, everything in here looks great, including the rotating air vents which still open as you start the car to welcome you inside. At its heart though is Jaguar's new infotainment system, which is far easier to use than the old one, with slicker graphics and much quicker responses. And this car is also fitted with Jaguar's around view cameras, which mean that you can see all around the car while you're parking, and you can even use them on the move. Unlike the XC, leather seats come as standard in the XF, and you also get a host of other equipment, including cruise control, climate control, heated seats, Bluetooth and sat-nav. You can step up to R Sport if you want a more racy feel, or Portfolio if luxury is more your thing. Our test car also came with this mysterious extra fob on the keyring. Now at first I thought this might have been a slightly old school alarm, but actually it's so much cooler than that, because press this button down for a couple of seconds 10 minutes before you go out to the car in the morning, and it either preheats it or pre-cools it. Now I know which I prefer on a cold wintry morning to an ice scraper. Hop in the back, and thanks to the increased wheelbase, there's 24mm more knee room and 27mm more headroom, and it certainly feels pretty spacious back here. There's also this central armrest with a couple of cup holders, and in this car we've got rear heated seats and even two 12-volt plugs so you can charge up your accessories. This car has the optional power opening boot, which reveals an impressive 540 litres of luggage space, and that's 20 more than the BMW 5 Series. There's also 40-20-40 split and folding rear seats, so that means that you can load longer items like a snowboard between your two rear passengers. Of course, Jaguars can't just be practical, they have to be good to drive too. And luckily the XF has no problems here, because not only does it have really advanced suspension, but it's also been set up on UK roads, which as we all know are rather unique. So with either the standard suspension or the adaptive system, the XF rides beautifully even when fitted with big alloy wheels. Yet get to a corner and there's hardly any body roll, and it's actually really fun to drive. In fact, with the 178 bhp diesel fitted, you get the impression that this car could handle a lot more power. In fact, maybe even something like north of 500 bhp if they ever do a V8 XFR version. But most people will be better off with this diesel. Why? Well, it's only a few £100 more than the entry-level 161 bhp version, so that seems like a no-brainer to us. It's also very refined, and well, it's a bit too tepid in eco mode. Put it into dynamic and there's plenty of power. It gets from 0 to 62 in 7.5 seconds, has a top speed of 136 miles per hour, and feels particularly strong in third and fourth gears, so it's good for overtaking. But the big news is the fuel economy, with claimed figures of 65.7 mpg and just 109 grams of CO2 emissions. While you might think, okay, that's good in a lab, but it'd be impossible to hit that, I've actually been getting pretty close on my commute. This figure shouldn't be affected if you go for the automatic, but if you do go for the four-wheel drive system, it drops to around 57 mpg, but could definitely still be worth considering if you live off the beaten track. If you want a faster XF, for now you'll have the choice of a brace of 3-litre V6s, either the diesel with 296 brake horsepower or a supercharged petrol with 375, and both get from 0 to 62 in less than 6 seconds. The XF starts from £32,300, which actually does bag you an awful lot of car for the money. However, this does shoot up to nearer £50,000 if you want a 3-litre V6 under the bonnet, although this is partly because those are only available with the top S trim level. The BMW 5 Series is a bit cheaper at £31,000, while the new Mercedes E-Class is more expensive, starting from around £36,000. Jaguar has done a fantastic job of keeping the XF's great looks and character intact, whilst improving it in almost every other area. It's now better to drive, more refined, and has a much improved infotainment system. But most importantly of all, it's now available with a really frugal diesel engine. And with most of these destined to spend their lives trekking up and down the motorway, that's a really big deal. But do you love the XF's looks as much as we do? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Click on the inquire button to find out more details about this car, or for any other models visit carkeys.co.uk. And to watch more reviews, click one of the links on screen now.